Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to a PSGL League Racing video here on the channel. I know it's been a while, I know the content has been, what's the word I'm looking for, limited in these past few weeks. Trust me, it doesn't go unnoticed. I am very conscious of that. I've been putting a lot of time into various different things, which unfortunately nobody gets to see, as that's just the nature of whether it's practicing or working on stuff. So I do very much apologise for the drought of content, but we're back, and I did a league race recently around COTA, as you can see, which I think is the penultimate PSGL round of the season. And the reason I'm talking through this Q1 lap without too much focus is because this was basically a guaranteed Q1 slot, as I believe 4 cars retired and one other car, I think it was Jake, wanted to start 16th. So all we needed to do was set a valid lap. So this is literally just a lap to sort of show, and all we needed to do was not invalidate because Jake's lap was like a couple of seconds off the pace intentionally. So this is a free Q2, as if you like. Penultimate round of PSGL, and we thought, we'll hop in, we'll have a bit of fun. I know I don't league race as much as certainly many people would like, but ultimately I've got to prioritise and focus on not just league racing as such, because I feel like there's a couple of things that I do that are a bit more important, that I feel like will make a greater difference. It's been nearly invalidate, which was the whole point of this lap, is to not invalidate. As you can see me nearly laughing there.
Jesus, that was so close to going off the shot.
That regardless actually got us through in 8th place, which was surprising. But and we should also, you can actually see up the top left of the screen as well, we have 120 FPS running, which is one of the things in the it's a really weird thing with the way league racing is these days, is you either use 60, which is a good chunk quicker, or I'm probably going to ask in the comments if I don't specify. I would say 60 is about 10th and a half quicker, maybe, give or take, maybe more. Some tracks maybe less. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but 60 FPS is quicker. As we missed that APS completely, so that was horrendous. The reason I use 120 is because for esports, we use 120. So for me, I don't want to really use 60 because ultimately it's based. The normal build already is like driving a different game as it is. So you don't want to stray even further away from what you're more or less going to be more used to as such, or not so much used to, but to what's more relevant. But I've kind of waffled at the start of this video. I do very much apologise. But in short, we're back with a bit of a league racing video, and rounding our way now into sector 3 here on our first Q2 attempt. It hasn't been that nice so far. Missing that apex there, very hard to get that apex consistently if you do not get that trail braking perfect. Saving the distance all the way around this multi-apex right-hander, which is always annoying because you always get the marbles, using a lot of curb on the inside, a bit of a wiggle on the exit, not getting to that last corner. I was really constantly struggling to get the car in the way I wanted to into that last corner. And I think it was a common theme through this qualifying session. So regardless though, without that strong a lap, we were P7, so all in all, that could have been a lot worse. We know where all the time is now, heading into the first run of Q2. We got to the apex really early there. I was actually worried I was going to have a compromised exit, but we actually managed to go green on the delta. And now we are heading through the start of sector 1, these sweeping high-speed corners, trying to carry the speed, getting the car into the apex much better this time, and a nice clean execution so far, connecting all these apexes. It looks relatively easy and smooth to do, but believe me, it is actually quite tricky to consecutively and precisely combine all of these apexes together, getting it into just very, very nice and smooth. I'm not really taking any, let's say, crazy risks. This lap is really textbook, and that's really key here, is that we know that we have a lot of time, probably towards maybe even the end of the lap as well. So we aren't doing anything that's crazy risky. The lap is very controlled, very measured. and yeah, the time is coming to us. We aren't really chasing the lap time, we are like letting the lap time come to us as of course the track improves itself. This time hitting the apex, not actually gaining way too much, maybe too wide on the entry, I believe would also have not helped. But now we've got a massive amount of time on the delta and we do not want to risk anything, so pretty tame through there, losing a little bit of time, but that's alright. Into the last corner. Now, we did the opposite problem this time. We actually got to the apex too early. Still gains time though, which shows, you know, the tendency of lap time through there is, you know, you want to make sure you get the car over that curb because it is just saving distance and making the corner way quicker. And that got us through without taking too much risks in the lap, especially towards, I would say, those final two corners. But here we are now for, you know, the Q3, the ultimate. Yeah, the ultimate part of where you want to get your lap time out of. Nice and clean through turn 1, very hard to get that braking right through there. It is not an easy corner. And then you're flat out through these opening sort of S's. So important to get the car, you know, into that sort of inside to start sector 2, because you're constantly, you know, washing out and trying to like fight against the understeer in a way. Now into this hairpin, which is, yeah, again, a delicate balance of trying to retake the car, but then you can get so over eager on the exit with the traction. As we get the DRS open now, heading down to the final corner of sector 2, which is, again, a corner you can cut massively on the inside, which we do not do well at all there. That is not the, let's say, the theoretical optimal way of taking the corner. We now missed that apex, which really does compromise us quite a bit. And now we're heading into this left-hander, and then we over-rotate. We just kill the momentum there a little bit. So yeah, not the best first run of Q3. Quite a few small things that will be adding up considerably in this lap. Through the penultimate corner, clean but maybe not optimised on the exit. Into the last corner, and again, now not rotating whatsoever, and that really, really killed our exit.
Why did I lock up into that last corner? I'm on 55 brake bias. Why did I lock up? That is the weirdest under rotation. Weirdest under rotation.
So yeah, we were pretty baffled by that last corner. It was just a consistent struggle, but yeah, that's all behind us now. Here we are for the final run of qualifying. One more chance to put it all together, and yeah, we know we've got quite a bit of time in hand that we just need to try and find. Into turn 1, a little bit of understeer into the apex, but we managed to carry enough momentum in to keep ourselves sort of level on that delta, heading into these fast high-speed sweepers now. Right, left, trying to keep it nice and tight to the right hand side. We managed to do that very nicely. Then we use actually a lot of curb. That's actually more than I would normally use, and it's really important to hook yourself over this curb. Really pushing the exit that way. That exit there with a little bit of oversteer, that would have cost us a little bit, but we were definitely starting to really try and lean on it, try and leave nothing on the table if we could. So that is now us well into sector 2. We are only 600s up on the delta, but we know the majority of our time isn't in this sort of first phase of the lap. It really is in these next sequence of corners. Do we get the cut over this corner? A little bit better this time, but definitely could have been more. Then into this right-hander, we do get the apex, but crucially carry so much better momentum into this left-hander now, opening up the entry nicely. And this time rolling a bit more speed in, using that exit curve as well. And look at the delta, we're actually now miles up on our lap. So this is really, you know, competitive up to this point in the lap. How we're going to do through the penultimate corner, chucking the car in. Really better momentum this time through the exit, but into the last corner, once again, miles away from the apex. We lose so much time, and across the line.
I just choked that last corner. I just lost a 10 from the last corner. That was actually going to be a good lap. Can't believe it. Mate, I lost so much in the last corner. The car didn't turn, bruv. That was actually going to be such a good lap for... Oh my god. Bro, I lost so much. No way. I mean, where are we? P5 with a choked last corner? I mean, I call that a good day's bloody work.
Good job, Luke, you beat.
Mate, I can't believe that. I lost so much. I lost so much.
Monaco would have done a more clean last corner.
So yeah, all things considered, we actually, you know, did all right to get P5 out of that.
Yep.
We, yeah, didn't have a great last corner. That probably cost us, you know, anywhere up to a 10. So I think P2 minimum on the grid was what was possible with that. And all things considered, with FPS and practice time and whatever it was for this specific race, yeah, could be worse, could always be better though. But anyway, none of that matters. 5 red lights, and away we go. And we actually get a very nice initial launch, gaining quite a bit on Jarno ahead of us. We've got Patrick Seapost on the inside, so we're going to have a look towards the inside, braking late into turn 1. We had a corner inside, sorry for the pause, having a look at us going into turn 1. We managed to hold ourselves nicely tight to that inside, and yeah, up into P4 now. One position gained, and yeah, as you can hear Bloom say in our ear, Softs, who is Freddie Rasmussen, is well, P1 is on sorry, P1, who's Freddie Rasmussen, is on softs, so he's going to make a breakaway and try and drive his own stint at the beginning of this race. We have Danny Beresny and Jarno Watmere ahead of us on the same tyre as us on hards, and of course those two are teammates as well, which makes our life always challenging when you're behind two teammates, such as the way is, you know, that's just the way it is. We have Josh Edo behind us as well now, who made up a few positions off the start. Brendan Lee as well, who I think started like 13th and made his way up to 6th, so he just shot up the order. So yeah, my man gained like 100 places, so fair enough. And we have Barry as well in the mix in that sort of pack behind us, and the crucial thing to note is he is on soft tyres, so he'll obviously be wanting to, you know, push his way through, fight his way forward to make the best of those soft tyres, as they will be good versus the hards, in particular for the first 4 and a bit laps, and that's a key thing to note. And as you can see, a little bit scruffy on this first lap, but you know, that's us just trying to, you know, find the limit. We weren't under any immediate threat from necessarily behind, and we wanted to try and yeah, use that opportunity to just sort of feel out the limit as we are on lap 3 now. We have Barry up into P6 now on those softs, make that P5, and this is crucial now because this is lap 3 and those softs are still going to be quite good at this phase. And now skipping on to lap 4, you can see Barry is right there on us, and ideally we don't really want him to get past us now because we know his softs are about to dip and lose performance, and if we get stuck behind him, then that's not really ideal for our race as he goes for our inside. So we leave plenty of room on that entry, but set ourselves up nicely for that exit, using quite a bit of battery on that exit with the slipstream as well, and we managed to maintain the position on Barry. And we actually see this as an opportunity as the Mercedes drivers swap position. So we go up the inside now of Danny Beresny, making sure we leave him a room on the exit. A little bit cautious on my side, but we go for the outside now, trying to hang it round. And again, yeah, just a very tricky move to make at the end of the day. Having a little look at the inside, making sure you don't run in too deep. It's very easy just to run into the back of the car ahead of you. Making sure we defend from Barry. But yeah, definitely was worth a try. We could have been a bit more aggressive, but at the end of the day, yeah, it was worth a little look to try and make that move work, as we have Barry now still right behind us, but we know he's going to lose performance, you know, very, very shortly. Probably in this next high-speed section he will lose a bit of grip, so we managed to fend off that attack. And yeah, now on to lap 11, everything's sort of settled down, we're in a rhythm, we've got that battery back up, and we are just sort of managing things. As we can see Josh going for a move up the inside behind us, and we actually got a little bit of a tap, which, you know, did no harm whatsoever. It was all good. I mean, Josh was very late on the brakes. I think Barry had to take avoiding action as a result. I'm not 100% sure what really happened there. All I remember seeing was just a red arrow and a little bit of a nudge in the rear end, but no harm done whatsoever from Josh. You know, we're all pushing the limits. It's end of the day, it's PSGL. It's not like we're in a it's not like we're fighting in esports where, you know, things are a little bit more higher or more tense. Sorry. This is, you know, an opportunity for everyone to, you know, have a bit of fun, go racing, have some battles. As crucially, we saw a number of people pit on those recent laps. Now, we're going to stay out here, which will be the biggest mistake I make in this entire race. This was a very, very poor decision, as many people pitted behind us there. Oh, and even in front of us, as we had Jarno and Danny pit, as we missed that first apex, which is, you know, brilliant. But, you know, end of the day, that was a big mistake. As you can see, I've used a lot of battery on this in lap to try and somewhat maintain track position, which again is another mistake, because as you're going to see, we're going to come out behind all these cars that have just sort of boxed no matter what. So using this energy was not a good thing to do, but ultimately
let's see what
that's a game of hindsight, because I had no idea where I was going to come out. You know, for all I know, you know, it's track position, and you know, track position, as you're going to see, turned out to be very important in this race. So, you know, I wanted to try and see if I could maintain track position, but regardless of the energy I used, as you can see, I come out behind all of these cars with, you know, a 4-second gap to the cars behind, or 3-second gap to the car behind. So ultimately, us using this energy was not really worth it at all. And that was, yeah, that's just the roll of the dice you take. So now we're in a pretty bad situation, as most of the cars have pitted and we have lost a lot of positions. And yeah, to overtake in a DRS train is going to require a lot of DRS and a lot of ERS. So now you can see how much energy we're having to burn. Thomas defending the inside there as well, which I don't really know why he did that, because I was never really going to get the move done on Thomas there. I think it was a bit of an over defense, but you know, at the end of the day, nothing really changes as a result of it. It's just, it is what it is. It's all good. We are now battling with Dylan Warren, which is, you know, I had to give him a little bit of a squeeze because of I think it was the end of sector 2, because of us being sort of 3 wide for a moment. But yeah, all in all, I would say that was, you know, just a normal overtake, normal battle. Thomas now going for a dive bomb on Josh, and now we do have, you know, a tyre advantage on these cars, but unfortunately it's not, let's say, a massive tyre advantage to help you get through this train. So yeah, the strategy was yeah, it was a big L for me. I can't lie. And yeah, they're still battling ahead of us now. They're going side by side, as you can see, and they're probably going to go side by side for the next sequence of corners. Is Thomas now, yeah, they sort of get interlocked now, and they're starting to squeeze each other quite a bit. So we're just trying to observe and wait and try and pick our moment as good as possible. And again, they're rubbing into each other, which, you know, is causing them to obviously slow down. So we, you know, lost a little momentum as a result there. But yeah, they're somewhat going side by side into this penultimate corner, so we're going to have a little look on the inside. But again, very late defence from Josh. I think it was a little bit reactionary there. And in fairness to Josh as well, he probably didn't know I was alongside, because sometimes the arrows don't actually go red when you're, you know, in that position. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, a little bit late, a little bit sketchy there, but you know, nothing really came of it, so it's all good. But we're going to try and take this opportunity to go for a move up the inside of Josh. But the only problem is we do not have a lot of energy. We're ahead on this exit. We've got the DRS. We have half a slipstream, but we're having to empty our battery. And Josh was quick on the straight as well. Either that, or he just had a lot more battery. But he was pacey on these straights, and now he's going to move on his teammate here, Yoni Tormala, and now it's somewhat similar to the laps before, where we're just sort of side by side trying to find a gap. And yeah, we wanted to aim for the outside here, but unfortunately for us, Yoni chose the outside, which meant I couldn't dive in deep and get the momentum round the outside. So yeah, this is just the way it is in the train. You know, if you know, don't have the battery, if you don't use your battery at the exact right moment and you get stuck in fights like this, it can go very wrong very quickly. As we go up the inside of Josh into the last corner, making sure we leave room on the exit, you know, trying to make sure it's nice and clean. And again, we're just, that's it, we've got nothing left on our battery, but we're just not, you know, Josh was pretty pacey on these straights, so fair enough. We go up the inside into turn 1, we managed to get the move done, thankfully. But yeah, to get, what, 2 positions? That took half of my battery, of which half I didn't have because I used it before the pit stop, which we didn't need to use because of hindsight, blah 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 blah. But now you can see, he just comes straight back past. And ultimately, yeah, maybe could have defended this one a little bit more, but I was also expecting him just to sort of sail past a little bit quicker. So now we're going to go side by side and try and hang on to this position, because at this point in the race, we kind of know that, you know, our race is kind of run. Like, well, we might as well just try and hang on and have a bit of a battle. At the end of the day, we're fighting for what, P9 and P10, so, you know, I'm not going to lose sleep whether it's P9, P10, P8, P7. It's not, you know, we're not at the front, so we're going to try and hang on now. And yeah, we actually just both stay in the DRS, which kind of confused me a little bit going into this last corner as we go side by side, you know, side by side for this last sector, which was pretty cool. It was actually quite a nice prolonged battle. And I got confused here because I didn't exactly register when the detection was and where we were at that moment. And now Dylan Warren gets back past us. But
crucially, we've obviously dropped that little bit further back on the train ahead of us, which should be fine because we should manage to get ourselves, I think,
Nothing you can do.
somewhat back into that by using, I believe, well, we're going to pass, as you can see now, I guess, that'll explain it. We're going to pass Dylan here and Isma, who has, I believe, fresher tyres and probably, well, it wouldn't be difficult to have more battery than 0%, Lucas. Yeah, he's going to pull us along and we're going to go with him to get ourselves back in the train. But again, without the battery and just in this situation, there's not really much you can do. You know, I think it was very surprisingly track position orientated as we try and go for a move on Yanni, but we make a big mistake. This was 100% my fault, our fault, sorry, even my fault, and I make sure to give Yanni the position. I do not want to be gaining an advantage on that. So yeah, that was completely my fault. End of the day, I was going for a move, I got caught in the marbles and yeah, went straight into the side. So that is completely my fault. I did apologise after the race as well. You know, end of the day, you know, we were on lap 26, we were fighting for lower points. It was like, oh well, I mean, I might as well try something. Got it wrong in the end, and as you can see, skipping on to lap 28, that was really it, because obviously we didn't have battery, and the train ahead was obviously burning their entire battery and pulling each other alongside, sorry, with all of their energy. And as you're going to see now, you know, end of the day, we just sort of, it didn't really matter whether it was 9th or 10th, we just sort of, you know, we didn't play any DRS games, there wasn't really much, you know, to be won or lost with it. You know, ultimately, we just got sailed past by Yanni, and that was really it. We had some fun battles. We had plenty of side-by-side moments. So you know, some cool, you know, wheel-to-wheel stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this race didn't roll our way. The strategy was, you know, I would say predominantly my fault for not. Ultimately, I didn't really know what was going on in the race with people behind me because I was really focused on, you know, what was going on in front of me and maybe in the few cars in my vicinity. But yeah, that'll be, I think, well, P10 I guess, as we cross the line, which is what it is. Still had some good fun battling. Quali was relatively optimistic as well. You know, always things that you can, you know, improve and be a bit more perfect on. But yeah, it was one of those ones. We managed to, yeah, have a bit of fun, have a bit of battles, but ultimately, yeah, strategy and track position was very important as it turned out. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. But yeah, it was good fun to do some battles. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this league racing video. And yeah, I'll be back in PSGL next week for Las Vegas, which will probably be complete chaos. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Much love to you all. Hope you're having a great day. Love you all. Ciao.